Hi, my name is Roy Remick, and this is my training plan for existing managers prepared for instructor Amy Rogers. I have prepared this training plan for my current employer, Britt's Pub. Britt's Pub is located at Nicollet Mall, downtown Minneapolis, and was established in 1991. Since then, they have expanded from a couple of rooms within the building to almost the entire building. They offer a unique atmosphere to some very loyal patrons who come here for the great food, soccer, and rugby games. As a current employee at Britt's Pub, I was fascinated with these aspects and the current volume of their seasonal hiring process. Every year, Britt's Pub must hire 100 people in the beginning of March through May to fulfill its human resource needs for the summer. Some of these people are new hires, and some of them are returning from previous years as seasonal employees. But this task is clearly a strain on everyone from Shane, the general manager, to the servers training them. I have conducted a needs analysis by observing employees performing the job, have performed the job, I have read current training manuals, and interviewed subject matter experts, SMEs. The people I've interviewed are currently involved with hiring process or function of training. General Manager Shane conducts interviews. Accountant/Human Resource Manager Rich processes back-end paperwork. Trainer Kate trains front-of-the-house staff and processes front-end paperwork. Kitchen Manager Mimi trains back-of-the-house staff and processes front-end paperwork. Floor Manager Danielle maintains weekly schedules for the day servers. Needs of these prominent staff members in regards to the hiring process are as follows. Shane feels that prospective employees are telling him whatever he wants to hear in order to get a job. And because he conducts so many interviews, it seems that he needs a process that can help him identify people who are just giving him lip service. Rich feels that initial paperwork could be better organized before it is sent to him for processing, because he sometimes receives incomplete files on new employees which he has to track down. He also needs to be made aware of when employees are no longer working for the company in order to take them out of the computer system, and for accounting reasons. Mimi has expressed the needs for help with the initial paperwork involved with new hires. Because of her other responsibilities as a kitchen manager and gearing up for the busy season can be overwhelming. Kate feels that more attention is needed in conducting reference checks of new hires. She feels that too many people with bad working habits are slipping through the cracks and thus causing problems for her and the existing staff. She wants to know if applicants are available for rehire at their previous jobs. Danielle wants to hold people more accountable to their availability that new hires are required to provide on applications. She states that once people are getting hired, too many people are changing their shift availability, which creates problems for her. And then myself, identifying employees who qualify for worker opportunity tax credits by cross-referencing public databases in order to reduce tax liability at the end of the year. I also feel like trainees need to get more familiar with how to navigate the computer system more thoroughly, accurately, and quickly before they start ranking actual orders and on the floor, thus reducing the learning curve. The needs I have identified for the hiring process can be broken down into 3 different categories, which are organizational, person, and task analysis. The ultimate goal is to look at current activities and see how they can be improved, or possibly look at some new alternatives. Obviously, these processes will create some new responsibilities if adopted, and Britt's Pub must determine if existing employees can take on these new responsibilities, who will take them, will they need training to accept them, are they cost effective, or can we outsource any of these functions to Roy as a paid intern. As you can see here, I have organized each need by their proper way they need to be analyzed. Phase 2 is the design process. In evaluating Shane's needs, he could use some questions and techniques in identifying the knowledge, skills, and abilities of applicants. These questions need to be disguised in a way so Shane can evaluate past performance of an applicant to determine whether they will align with the strategic goals of the company. A combination of behavioral interviewing and identifying KSAs to develop these questions should help Shane weed out lip service that he has been listening to and identify a person who has genuine KSAs. Behavioral interviewing helps determine how a prospective employee might react to a future set of circumstances. By presenting these questions in past tense form, the prospective employee will relate the question to a similar set of circumstances that have happened in the past. The theory used here is based off what employees have done in the past as the best indicator of what they will do in the future. This will give Shane a good look at past behavior, but it will also give him insight into whether a prospective employee possesses the knowledge, skills, and abilities he needs to successfully perform the position he is trying to fill. So we're going to take now a look at Development 1 and Development 2. Here I have made a form that will identify the knowledge, skills, and abilities that Shane needs to look for when he's in the current interview process. That way he is able to grade and see if these people that he is interviewing have these abilities. The second development is also just a job description and some examples of behavioral interviewing questions. One of the examples here is, we'll take the first one. When guests ask for rum and coke, what is your first question to them? The answer would be, would you like Bacardi or Captain? In this instance, he's able to disguise a question and find out whether this person has the ability to use upselling techniques. In evaluating Rich's need for obtaining complete files on new hires, I have designed a checklist and a cheat sheet. This way he will get the initial information he needs to enter the employees into payroll and computer system without having to obtain an incomplete file. The trainer can keep the file until the checklist is complete, and Rich still receives the pertinent information he initially needs on the first day. These forms should help out Mimi and Kate as well. Developments 3 and 4. This is Development 3, and it is basically a checklist for new hire packets. Basically what they'll do is include these in the packets, and as the trainer obtains all the information needed, we'll check them off. Once they are ready and complete, they can send the complete file up to Rich so that he can process it. This Development 4 here is just a kind of a cheat sheet for Rich. This way he gets all the pertinent information that he needs right away. Basically, it is just all the information he needs to put into payroll. So basically, this will be included in the new hire packet. It will be one of the first things we fill out. But also, you know, it can be, this sheet in particular can be sent up to the office right away. Mimi has expressed great interest in obtaining assistance of her new hire paperwork, and seeming how I'll be looking for an internship next year anyway, it seems like a good fit. Mimi has a great deal of responsibility as a kitchen manager and knows that her time is better spent with trainees, making sure that they are achieving the quality, consistency, and the speed Brits is known for. By freeing up her time she spends with new hire paperwork, she'll have more time to focus on the competitive advantages of her kitchen and the strategic goals of this company. Kate understands that her time is valuable during the process and training of new hires, and the company will benefit in a couple of ways by preventing negligent hires. Each new hire costs about $300 to train, which includes wages, food they eat, shirts they are provided, and Kate's time training them. Multiply this number by the amount of people who quit within the first month should provide Brits with an accurate number. By eliminating negligent hires, the company will spend less time training, processing paperwork, and should reduce the amount of stress on the existing staff these people cause. Danielle has a daunting task of creating schedules for the day servers based on their availability to work. Unfortunately, it seems that people are more flexible prior to having a job than they are after they get one with Brits. The only solution I see is that the flexibility of the potential applicants' availability must be stressed more in the interview process, but I'm pretty sure that it was when I went through the process. Nevertheless, applicants should be made aware that they will be held accountable for their availability that they have provided on the application. I believe one question could be added to the interview process which may provide more clarity on the situation. That question would be, do you expect your availability to change within the next 6 months? If so, when? Moving on to the needs that I had and the opportunities that I provided Brits that I believe they should take advantage of. With the additional paperwork that will be included in next year's training processes concerning WOTC paperwork, someone will need to take responsibility of it. If this program is still available next year, it will be likely fall into the hands of Rich since he currently processes all back-end paperwork. Basically what I have identified here is 2 tax credits that you can search by public databases. One are the empowerment zones, and these are people just basically if you live in a specific neighborhood, this tax credit can be worth $400. And then also felons, if you employ a felon, you get a tax credit of $2,400. Basically, you can use these 2 links. This one right here. All you simply do is put in the person who you've hired, their address into this website, and it'll tell you if they live in an empowerment zone. Pretty easy. The next one here is to search criminal background history, and all you need is first name, last name, and then you just basically have to put a little context into what you're looking at. Obviously, there's more than 2 names sometimes. Next, I'm recommending that they implement a computer-based training program. This will consist of mock orders that servers can ring up during the training period under a training mode so that they do not send any actual orders to the kitchen, but they can actually just practice on the computer. Basically, the purpose of the CBT gets the employee familiar with how to navigate this computer system before they start ringing in actual orders on the floor. This CBT will actually provide 2 benefits to the company. It will give trainees confidence in ordering food and beverages through the POS system, increase product knowledge, decrease time to table for both food and drinks, eliminate mistakes being sent to the kitchen, and other staff members will not have to wait as long to ring up their food orders. And we'll take a look at Development 5. Alright, here is Development 5, the CBT worksheet. This will include a variety of things that I have found difficult to find within their computer system, things that are very unique, different ways that customers particularly order their food here. A lot of modifiers, a lot of substitutions, a lot of additions to help the trainee get familiar with where things are located on the computer for the reasons that I presented just previously. Okay, the whole purpose of this training for managers and some of the recommendations I've made is to create less stress for the trainers, for the trainees, the people, everybody involved. So we want to make it a learning environment. A learning environment is creating a stress-free environment conducive to learning that will help trainees relax and feel comfortable. Content should include learning objectives, meaningful training material, practice feedback, modeling, and program administration. Basically, ensuring transfer of training, I would definitely recommend some self-management strategies that I'm about to go over. Now, self-management is one of the adult learning techniques that I'm recommending here. Basically, self-management refers to a person attempt to control certain aspects of decision-making and behavior. Training programs will prepare employees to self-manage their use of new skills on the job. One example of a self-management strategy in this particular situation would be that top management conveys how they want servers and bartenders to handle service upsets. Give them a specific process. That way they know how this particular process should work, and they don't have to go look for a manager. Okay, finally, in conclusion, evaluation and post-implementation. Developing an evaluation plan in these circumstances is gathering feedback from trainers and trainees. They know better than anyone how something is not working in a particular circumstance. Human resource managers should know the learning outcomes, choose a design, then present the cost-benefit analysis to the trainer